What's going on, everybody? It's Bulls Nation Station back at it again with another one. And it's been a dry period, as far as NBA news. And speaking of the dry period, the first thing I want to do before I even start my video is give my condolences to LeBron James and his family and for his son Bronny. As you guys know, he had cardiac arrest while he was playing, and that's just horrible for anybody's child to have. So again, I wanted to start off my video with saying my prayers and thoughts are with LeBron and his family, and praying for a speedy recovery, and hopefully he'll be able to play basketball again. And so shout out to him. And so I wanted to talk about some news in regarding the Chicago Bulls. Bleacher Report, they've been putting out some articles for different teams just to keep the talk going as far as basketball news. And they put out a couple of reports that I'm going to dive into. And one of the first reports they were talking about the biggest wins and losses for each team. Each team, they've made some type of moves, whether it was small or whether it was big. And so I'm going to talk about the moves they discussed the Chicago Bulls doing. And they were talking about the biggest win. And it seemed like a common pattern between articles and talk around the NBA and basketball news is that them signing Jevon Carter, they were talking about it was such a good deal because, as I said in other videos and as many other people have said, he's one of the best value free agents because he fits so perfectly with the way the Bulls are trying to play, as to where he's not a ball dominant guy. He fits in with 3 stars, he plays defense, and he shoots. And he's that perfect, complementary type of player. And so, bringing him in at the price they brought him in for, a 3-year deal. That's one of the best wins, not only for the Bulls, but for all the teams in the league, because you got so much for such good value. And they were talking about, the biggest loss. They technically said the Bulls didn't really have that much losses as they brought everybody back. But since you want to say loss, we did lose Patrick Beverly. And I'm going to start talking about that. To Patrick Beverly's defense, when he got to the Bulls took off. They went 14-9. They won a lot of games. The defense improved. The edge improved. And one thing I liked about Patrick Beverly, he was not afraid to get in none of his teammates' face. He was not afraid to call out any teammate. And he did good encouraging each teammate. He told Zach LaVine when he got to the Bulls, I want you to shoot every time. He told Kobe White, I love your game. He told Patrick Williams that he's a dog. And so it's little things like that can take a player a long way. You know what I'm saying? Zach, he turned up at the second half of last season. Kobe White turned up and played better. Patrick Williams did his thing. And there's little things like that as far as behind the scenes that I felt was Patrick Beverly's best quality. And it definitely showed on the Bulls. They, that run they had in the second half of the season is what got them into the play-in. Before that, they were out of contention. They wasn't even going to make the play-in. That's how bad they were playing. And so I definitely don't want to overlook that, and I'm going to miss that about Patrick Beverly. Hopefully the Bulls know what they need to do now as to where Patrick Beverly don't need to get into each and every one of them. But they got to understand they got to play with the urgency. And so shout out to Patrick Beverly. Now Jevon Carter, I'm not sure how he is in the locker room. I'm not sure if he's vocal, if he's not vocal. But I know I can tell you one thing's for sure. As far as shooting, he definitely, replaces Patrick Beverly to a better extent. As Patrick Beverly, he's an okay shooter as far as percentages, but he doesn't get it up nowhere near the attempts that a Jevon Carter would, and probably doesn't hit at the same rate. And that's what we need is 3-point shooting. And so, while Patrick Beverly had his qualities, he was not the best 3-point shooter for the Bulls. He had a couple games where he was hot. But Jevon Carter, he's like a machine when he shoots the threes. And that's what we need. We need something that can make the defense honest on the other team, to where it can spread the floor for DeMar, spread it for Zach, and we could be on to something. While I miss Patrick Beverly, I feel like Jevon Carter would be a better replacement. Jevon Carter's a little younger. His point of attack defense might be a little bit better than Patrick Beverly's, as Patrick Beverly is more grit and arms, and Jevon Carter, he can move his feet and he can dig down and deep into you. I'm happy to have Jevon Carter. I would definitely appreciate Patrick Beverly for the time he spent on the Bulls. good luck to him on the Sixers. But I feel like, the replacement of Jevon Carter replacing Patrick Beverly goes well for the Bulls. And so another article they talked about on Bleacher Report, they were talking about the most underrated players in the NBA. And you look at the list, you go down to number 1, and the guy they talk about who's the most underrated player is Alex Caruso. Now, why do they say he's an underrated player? They say that Alex Caruso can literally impact the whole game just off his defense. And that's very true. I mean, it's not too many people who could do what Alex Caruso doing defense. They were talking about not even centers. They put up a lot of statistics to back that idea up. And they were basically just saying that he does the things that Marcus Smart, Jrue Holiday does and never get the recognition for it. They said that he led the league in deflections last year. He had the most deflections. He causes so much trouble than most defenders at any position. His plus minus on the defense, he finished first in the entire NBA. And Caruso, he just did so much. He had so much that he did that every time he got on the floor, the Bulls were just a better team. They just played better. And that was another thing, that when Caruso got on the court, him and Patrick Beverly together, they caused a lot of havoc. Imagine having Caruso and Jevon Carter on the floor at the same time with the Torrey Craig. It's going to be so much defense being played. That's why I feel like the Bulls are going to be even a better defensive team this year. We finished 5th in the whole league last season, and it's crazy. I feel like we could be better than that. And so, yeah, Alex Caruso, they definitely view him as the most underrated player. And I feel like, Alex Caruso is such a great piece to have on our team. And that's why the value is so high when it came to possibly trading Caruso. You don't want to trade him just for nothing, because Caruso's too valuable of a player. And I personally would like to keep him on the Bulls and be competitive. You saw how he did against the Heat in that last playing game. But yeah, how do you guys feel? Do you guys feel like Caruso's the most underrated player in the game? Do you feel like Jevon Carter is a better backup for Patrick Beverly? Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at BullsInStation and subscribe to my page. And yeah, definitely like this video if you're down for more Bulls content. I'm gonna holler at you guys later, and I'm out.